We couldn't start without you all to
You said you was getting here at 1:30. That's why we chose 1:30 because you said you was gonna get here at 1:30. Y'all ready to pray in?
Let's go ahead. Guys, my hallelujah back there? Right here. It's right there. Show it right here, right? No, that would be.
I think his a little decrepit.
If I go up with this, my phone.
Oh, that one? Oh, okay. I was wondering. Can I see your Bible? Okay, that's awesome. Nice. You looking up?
Great. Hallelujah. Great.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Don't get this one started.
You know I can, because you know how.
It ain't gonna stop. Give me Deuteronomy chapter. All minds clear? This is Deuteronomy, or Devarim, chapter 6 at verse 4. Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah our Elohim, Yahuwah is one. Shema Yisrael.
Shema Israel.
Yahuwah Eloheinu.
Yahuwah Eloheinu.
Yahuwah Akkad.
Yahuwah Akkad.
This is Shemot, or Exodus chapter 20 at verse 3. We will have no other mighty ones.
We will have no other mighty ones.
Against the Most High.
Against the Most High.
We will not make any carved image.
We will not make any carved image.
Or any likeness.
Or any likeness.
Of that which is in Shamaim above.
That which is in Shamaim above.
Or which is in the earth beneath.
Or which is in the earth beneath.
Or which is in the waters under the earth.
Or which is in the waters under the earth.
We will not bow down to them.
We will not bow down to them.
Nor serve them.
Nor serve them.
Yahuwah is a jealous El.
Is jealous El.
Visiting the wicked.
Visiting the wicked.
Of the fathers on the children.
The fathers of the children.
To the third and fourth generation.
To the third and fourth generation.
Of those that hate him.
Of those that hate him.
But showing kindness.
Showing kindness.
To thousands of those.
To thousands of those.
Who love him.
Who love him.
And keep his commandments.
And keep his commandments.
We will not bring the name.
We will not bring the name.
Yahuwah El.
Yahuwah El.
To nothing.
To nothing.
For Yahuwah will not leave us unpunished.
Not leave us
Who
unpunished.
brings his name to nothing.
Who brings his name to nothing.
We will remember the Shabbat day.
You will remember the Shabbat
To
day.
keep it Kodesh.
To keep it Kodesh.
6 days we will labor.
6 days we will
Do
labor.
all our work.
Do all our
But
work.
the seventh day
But the seventh day
is the Shabbat.
is the Shabbat.
Yahuwah El.
Yahuwah El.
For in 6 days,
For in 6 days,
Yahuwah made Shamaim.
Yahuwah made Shamaim.
And the earth.
And the earth.
And the sea.
And the sea.
And all that is in them.
And all that is in them.
And rested the seventh day.
And rested the seventh day.
Therefore, Yahuwah barak the Shabbat day.
Therefore, you will brought the Shabbat day.
We will respect our
We
father
will respect our father
and our mother.
and our
So
mother.
that our days are long
So that our days are long
upon the earth.
upon the earth.
We will not murder.
We will not murder.
We will not commit adultery.
We will not commit adultery.
We will not steal.
We will not steal.
We will not bear false witness
We will not bear false witness
against our neighbor.
against our
We
neighbor.
will not covet
We will not covet
anything
anything
that is our neighbor.
that is our neighbor's.
Father, y'all, we give thanks for this day, for this set-apart day, Father, to gather together, Father, for your name's sake, Father. We pray and ask, Father, that you will open up the hearts and the minds of your people and the ears, Father, so that your word may go forth and proceed and be received, Father, with thanksgiving and gladness and fall on the good soil of the heart, so that it may grow into something mighty, Father, and prosper, Father. We pray and ask, Father, that your Ruach will abide with us on this day, Father, will be amongst us, Father, that you will give utterance unto the speaker, Father, and understanding unto the hearer, so that we all may be doers of your word. We pray for any soul that is in transit, Father, that you will allow them to make it here safely, Father. We pray for all the brothers and sisters that are watching on the stream, Father, that they will be edified according to your riches and mercy, Father. Yes, that each and every person will receive your word, Father, without obstacle, without hindrance, Father. That your word will proceed forth and be received, Father, according to your will. And all these things we pray and we give thanks. B'Shem Yehuwah, B'Kaya Hoshua Hamashiach, Ruach HaKodesh. So be it.
So be it.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
You stay back there on TV. He's great.
Wonderful prayer, brother. Wonderful prayer.
Praise the Most High.
Yeah, man.
Oh, praise the Most High.
All right, y'all. Mute all phones, tablets, anything that make noise.
Mute the phone. Mute your phone.
Don't be your own soundtrack. Good to go.
Say, don't be your own soundtrack.
You know, you go to the
You're not
movie.
on the movie theater.
Don't be your own soundtrack. All right, y'all. For the next dynamic speaker.
None of that. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
How's everybody?
Bless. Highly favored.
Anybody think about what we went over last week? Examining yourselves, anybody?
Every day.
Well, you think you better than you was last week?
I still like that.
Nah, anything. It's an honest question. Right.
Oh, you think you're better than
You
yourself?
think you're better than yourself.
What's the problem? Why is pride so deadly?
Anything you do,
Why?
you putting yourself before the Most High.
Yeah, that's one.
That's one reason.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's the biggest reason, definitely.
Okay.
But the thing is that you don't know that you got it. Right? This will make it so bad. A drunk knows that he's a drunk. Right? Prostitute knows that I'm a prostitute. All other things, you are aware of it. You know that I do this. But with this thing, we don't know it. That's what makes it so deadly on you, right? Because you think that you actually all right, because it makes you think you more than what you are, more righteous than what you actually are, right? So get me Revelations chapter 12, verse 9.
Oh, Lord. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Shaitan, which deceived the whole world.
He do what?
Deceived the whole world.
So all this time we didn't use this scripture. I don't know how many times we use this scripture, right? And we thinking, I'm not deceived about Esau. I'm not deceived about Babylon. And I'm not deceived about this and this and this and this, right? But it's this thing that we all was born with. Everybody got, but you don't even know that you got it. And he deceiving you with that. Right? When I say this, tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't let your pride make you say something else. Control it. Sodom and Gomorrah.
Homosexuality.
Homosexuality, right?
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
That's what always come to mind, right?
All praise.
Get me Ezekiel 48. I mean Ezekiel 16. 48. 1648.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, at verse 48. As I live, saith Yahuwah Elohim, Sodom your sister hath not done, but Sodom your sister hath not done, she nor her daughters, as you have done, you and your daughters. Behold, this was the iniquity of your sister Sodom.
Read that again.
This was the iniquity of your sister Sodom. Pride.
What?
Pride.
The first thing he said with Sodom and Gomorrah is what?
Pride.
Pride. But when we think of it, we think homosexuality off the rip. But the first thing it names is pride. Because homosexuality is a symptom of pride. So it's like a sickness, right? You get a cough, and instead of taking care of the actual thing that's causing the cough, you treat the cough. But the thing that's underneath it that's causing it, you don't even treat it, right? So since you don't treat what's actually causing it and you just treat the symptom, the thing is still there, right? So that's why, because you don't know that you got it, that's why it remains there. So even you say, a homosexual might say, I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to stop doing this. But guess what's still in there? Pride is still there. And it's just going to come up in another way and cause you to do something. The best way I can describe this for you is, y'all know what a ventriloquist is? All right. Pride is the ventriloquist and man is the dummy. Exactly. So you're sitting on pride's lap and its hand is in your back, controlling you, telling you what to do. All right? The best way I can put it. So remember, it's worried about how people perceive you, how people look at you, right? If you was writing an autobiography or somebody was writing a book about you or whatever, right? And you was born from incest or born through rape or something, would that be the first thing you want in the book? Why not?
It's a shame. Shameful.
You're ashamed of it, right? Because you'll be worried about what? What people think, right? Right? Because something in there don't want nobody to know that about you, right? Give me Matthew chapter 1. So remember, people like to brag about they upbringing. Well, I come from a long line of doctors. You know, I graduated first in my class with valedictorian. I graduated at 16. Right? I did all of these things, you know, put my own self through college. Right? Bragging about this type of stuff, right? Even though it would be false humility, which is pride's little brother. Pick it up at verse 3.
Matthew or Matityahu, chapter 1 at verse 3. And Judas begot Phares and Zerah and Tamar.
And who?
And Tamar.
Read that again from the top.
And Judas or Judah begot Phares and Zerah of Tamar.
Of who?
Of Tamar.
Who is Tamar? Who is it? His daughter-in-law, right? What happened between them? So that's against the law, right? That's incest, right? But guess what? It's in Mashiach's lineage.
So it is.
He's not hiding it. See the difference between us and him? His is in there. He ain't, no, don't put that in there. He came through these people for a specific reason, right? So remember, he said, my ways is not what? Your ways. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways to yours. He's not hiding it, right? It's in the first page of his book. Read on.
And Perez begot Esron, and Esron begot Aran, and Aran begot Aminadab, and Aminadab begot Nason, and Nason begot Salmon, and Salmon begot Boaz of Rahab.
Of who?
Of Rahab.
This is Rahab. Who is she? Wow, he got another one in there. He ain't hide her either. No, I can't. Don't let nobody know about that. Because we worried about what other people think, right? So think about who Mashiach is. For lack of a better word, a God comes down off of his great throne. Remember, he says, give me back the glory that I had with you before the world was. Steps off of his throne, comes down to the earth, becomes a man, then becomes a slave, and then becomes worse than a slave. You become a criminal that comes to be worthy of death. He did all of this, and he didn't care what nobody thought about it. Anybody, any of us to that point, where we don't care what nobody thinks? We gotta get there. We gotta get there. It's good y'all didn't lie though. Pride would have made you tell a lie and say, yeah, I'm there. You would have been lying. Remember, don't be the dummy on the ventriloquist's lap. Right? So a lot of times people don't want to answer. Why you don't want to answer the question? Boom, pride won't let you. I don't want to say nothing because I might be wrong. That's pride. And then, if somebody answer too long, it's pride. Because now I want y'all to see how smart I am. Right? So, the in-between is to just answer sincerely. Exactly. Just be right. Just got to keep Yah in front of everything. Remember, take the I, the me, and the my out the equation. And you'll be good. But go back and read that last verse. Verse 5.
And Salmon begot Boaz of Rahab. And Boaz begot Obed of Ruth.
Of who?
Of Ruth.
Wow. How did they come into the world? How did Moab and Ammon come into the world?
What did he say?
Read on, man.
And Obed begot Jesse. And Jesse begot David, the king. And David the king begot Solomon of her that had been the wife of Uriah.
What happened with them?
Killed him. Sent him to the front line.
Wow.
Took his life.
So in the first page of his book, he coming clean with everything, putting it out there. Not that he's proud of it. I don't got nothing to hide. I'm not worried about what y'all think of me. Right? I'm only trying to please Yah. Right? I don't care about what nobody think of me. I'm only trying to please Yeah. Right? We all got to get to that point where we don't care no more. I still care. I'm trying to get it out of me. Trying to get it out. All right? Let's get because we want people to like us. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But when you go overboard with it, it's a problem. So give me Luke chapter 16. Verse 13.
Luke chapter 16 at verse 13. No servant can serve two masters, but either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other.
It ain't no in between. You either gonna rock with Yah or you gonna rock with the world. No in between. Oh, I think I can do it. That's called lukewarm. If you lukewarm, what are you gonna do? Spew you out. So it's better to just go all in one way or do the other one. Right? Read on.
You cannot serve Yahuwah and Mammon. And the Pharisees also, who were covetous, heard all these things, and they derided him.
They did what?
Derided him.
What does that mean? They derided him.
Ridicule.
Ridicule. They talking about him. When somebody ridicule you and talk about you, what happens to you? You get mad. That thing in there say, don't let them talk to you like that. You can't talk to me like that. Who are you that I can't talk to you like that? All right? That thing get riled up. Read verse 14 again.
And the Pharisees also, who were covetous, heard all these things, and they derided him. And he said unto them, you are they which justify yourselves.
They do what?
You are they which justify yourselves.
Notice what it's pointing to. Self, right? You say they justify self. Y'all ain't justified by the law or y'all justify yourself. Read.
Before men. But Elohim know your heart. For that which is highly esteemed among men
Is what?
is an abomination in the sight of Yahuwah.
So when you walk around and everybody love you, like this world do, he say you an abomination to me. So when you highly esteemed and everybody, oh, brother, you an abomination in y'all's sight. That's why we aren't supposed to seek honor from men. That's why we aren't supposed to seek the honor and try to get praise and glory from men. When you do, and you get it, it's just like when somebody do something and they put it on Facebook. I'm down here at the homeless shelter feeding all of these children, you know what I'm saying? Look at me. We live? You got your reward because you're doing this because you want this pat on your back. But be careful that pat on the back, you might cough something up. Right? 1 Timothy 1:15. It'll show you how that you gotta stay on your toes with this pride thing. It ain't no one thing that I got it licked and I'm gonna be straight. It's always there waiting. It's like a pot of hot grease inside of you, 1,000 degrees Celsius, and it's waiting for you to drop the bottle of water in it. And it's gonna blow up and spill out everywhere. You ain't gonna never conquer it all the way, but you gotta make sure that you keep it at bay. Go ahead.
1 Timothy chapter 1 at verse 15. This is a faithful saying and worthy of all exception, that Yeshua HaMashiach came into the world to save sinners.
To do what?
To save sinners.
To save the righteous.
To save sinners.
To save sinners. That hear that?
Of whom I am chief.
Paul right here says, of who I am what?
Chief.
What does that mean?
Chief.
The top one. Because we know what Paul was doing before he got converted, right? Killing up people. And he ain't too proud to admit it. Telling you, yeah, I done some stuff, bro. Ain't trying to hide it. You know, I done some stuff. Everybody know it. Well, see, I came to save sinners. Matthew chapter 9, verse 10. So we might try to be worried about what people think again, right? So if somebody see us with certain people, we might don't want them to take a picture or something. Right? Oh, no, don't go. I don't want nobody to see me with them type of people. Right?
Guilty.
Don't put that camera on me, y'all.
Maccabees. Not that Maccabees, the other Maccabees.
Matthew chapter 9, verse 10.
Matthew chapter 9 at verse 10. And it came to pass that Yeshua sat at meat in the house. Behold, many publicans and sinners came and sat down with him.
What happened?
Came and sat down with him.
He said many publicans and sinners came and sat down with him. What most of us will do. I got to get up and go. Can't sit over here with these dudes. I have to separate myself from them. Because that camera on. Read.
Behold, many publicans and sinners came and sat down with him and his disciples. And when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto his disciples, why eat your master with publicans and sinners?
Do what?
Why your master eating with publicans and sinners?
Why you sitting down with them? Ain't he supposed to be like a great guy, a king or something? Why would he be sitting with publicans and sinners? The publicans is like the tax people, right? Mm-hmm. That everybody hated them. And the sinners. Read on.
But when Yeshua heard that, he said unto them, they that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick.
So he came to save who? Sinners. So if you don't go out and talk to the sinners, how are they supposed to get well? If you too good to go where they at? Does that make sense? What verse you at?
That was verse 12.
Read.
But go and learn what that means. I have mercy and not sacrifice. For I'm not come to call the righteous, but the sinners to repentance.
The who?
The sinners to repentance.
But the sinners to repentance. Now, before I understood this truth, I used to pray to be rich. I actually get on my knees. God, please make me rich. Please make me rich. Right. Exactly. Right.
Let me stop.
All right. And one of the things I really wanted to do, and it's super prideful, I used to want to get a limousine with a white suit on, drive around the hood, and pass money out. All right? Wherever the people that's going through it at, I want to ride through there in my limousine in my white suit and pass the money out. So everybody is, oh, he's such a great guy, and the news come up and interview me. right? But guess what? Y'all wouldn't be in none of it. I thought this was a good thing, right? I really believe that this is good. I'll be helping all these people drop. And you got to have the suit on. Or you got to be in the limousine.
Right.
Right? 2 Corinthians chapter 12. Verse 4.
Second Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 4. How that he was caught up into paradise and heard unspeakable words, which it is not lawful for a man to utter. Of such an one and will esteem, yet of myself will I not esteem.
Read that again.
Of such a one will I esteem, yet of myself I will not esteem.
So Paul says, this one that was caught up to the third heaven, he's speaking about Mashiach. He says, of such a one I will esteem, yet of myself I will not esteem. Go ahead.
But in mine infirmities. For though I would desire to esteem.
He said what?
For though I would desire to esteem.
Oh, it was in him. He still wanted it. He said, for though I desire to esteem. Go ahead.
I shall not be a fool.
I ain't going to be a fool, even though it's in me. I want to go out and get the shine. I want to go out on the balcony and wave at him. I can't do it. I can't do it. Read.
For I will say the truth, but now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he see me to be.
He say, I don't even want y'all to think of me of more than what I am. I don't even want to get y'all puffed up and keep coming to me and telling me how great I am. I don't even want it. Don't tell me I'm great no more, bro. That's why I like it's a balance. I get people that tell me, yo, you the coldest, bro. Then my YouTube will pop up. Ding! I open it up. You stupid. You don't know nothing. Wow. Pride want to get in and say something back. No, can't. Paul say, I don't even want you to think of me and puff me up and make me think I'm more than what I am. Read on.
Or that, well, I'll read it from verse 6. It says, for though I would desire to esteem, I shall not be a fool, for I will say the truth. But now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he see me to be, or he hear of me. Unless I should be exalted above measure.
Unless I what?
Be exalted above measure.
That means to be lifted up above measure. Prideful, right? Read.
Through the abundance of revelations, there was given to me.
So since Paul got the understanding, everybody, man, how do you understand all this stuff, bro? That you gonna start exalting me and making me think I'm better than what I am. Read.
There was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Shaitan, to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure.
So he had to get something, a thorn in his side, so Paul couldn't get puffed up, because people was constantly telling him how great he is. So the Most High give him a thorn to keep him from doing it, so you don't get too puffed up and think you more than what you are. Go ahead, verse 8.
For this thing I besought the master thrice, that it might depart from me.
So he prayed 3 times to get this thorn removed. 3 times, right? Read on.
And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather esteem in my infirmities, that the power of Mashiach may rest upon me.
The what?
The power of Mashiach may rest upon me.
That the power of Mashiach may rest upon me. All right. So behind every argument, behind every divorce, behind every breakup, behind every war, what's behind it? Give me that Proverbs 13 and 10.
Proverbs chapter 13 at verse 10. Only by pride.
Only by what?
Only by pride.
Only by pride, greed, jealousy, and envy.
Only by pride.
Only by pride, what happens?
Come contention.
Comes what?
Contention.
What does contentious mean again? Debate, argument, strife, contention. All of this comes from pride. Read that one more time, Mark.
Only by pride come contention, but with the well-advised is wisdom.
With what?
With the well-advised is wisdom.
But with the well-advised is wisdom. Proverbs 28, 25.
Proverbs chapter 28, verse 25.
Yeah, you can.
Hey, y'all, real quick, if anybody is parked in that parking lot, probably want to go and move your car around. Just if anybody in here parked in the parking lot, I'm pretty sure that's what my man talking about outside. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 25. He that is of a proud heart.
He is what?
He that is of a proud heart.
What did Mashiach have in his heart?
Humility.
Humility. Said, I'm meek and lowly of heart. Read that again.
He that is of a proud heart. Stir up strife.
Do what?
Stir up strife.
Stir up strife. So when you proud, arguments and strife follow you. Because like the ventriloquist, you are being led. Read.
But he that put his trust in Yahuwah shall be made fat.
So if you saying the opposite of putting trust in Yahuwah would be putting trust in what? Pride. Verse 26.
Verse 26. He that trusts in his own heart is a fool.
Trust in what?
In his own heart.
Is a what?
Is a fool. But whoso walk wisely, he shall be delivered.
So you see the contrast, right? Meek and lowly of heart, or prideful in heart. One you following Yah, the other one you're following your pride. So we're going to get into how the role that money plays in this in a minute. So we can show you some examples of humbleness, of meekness. Let's get 2 Samuel. Chapter 16, verse 5.
Second Samuel, chapter 16 and verse 5. And when King David came to Baharim, behold, thence came out a man of the family of the house of Saul.
So this is King David right here, right?
2 Samuel 16:5.
This is King David, the ruler of Israel right here. Got great power. Remember when people deride you or talk bad about you, right? And if you're trying to live up to a reputation that you got. 2 2 Samuel 16:5 again.
And when King David came to Bahurim, behold, thence came out a man of the family of the house of Saul.
Of who?
Of the house of Saul.
So this is somebody in Saul's family out there. So you know that they got beef, right? Read.
Whose name was Shimei, the son of Gerah. He came forth and cursed still as he came.
So this dude walking up on him. I don't think he's saying, I think he's using some of them words. Some of them words. Read on.
Verse 6. And he cast stones at David.
He did what?
Cast stones at David.
This dude got the nerve to throw stones at David. He cursing at him and he throwing stones at him. What you do with somebody casting stones and throwing rocks at you out and cursing you out?
Throw them back. Ain't no commandment against protecting yourself.
Or throwing them things back, right?
Run.
Read on.
And he cast stones at David. And all the servants of King David and the people and all the mighty men were on his right hand.
So he got all his people with him. They crewed up. They deep. We deep. Right? They deep. He got his mighty man with him. And dude is still throwing rocks at him and cursing at him. Read.
And on his left. And thus said Shimei when he cursed, come out. Come on out. You bloody man. You man of Belial?
Man of who?
You man of Belial?
He called David a man of the devil. That's what Belial is. Surely David finna kill him, right? Surely he's gonna kill him. He's probably gonna get him. Go ahead.
Yahuwah have returned upon you all the blood of the house of Saul, in whose stead you reign. And Yahuwah have delivered the kingdom into the hands of Absalom, your son. And behold, you taken in your mischief, but you are a bloody man.
He hitting David where it hurts at with the truth. All of this stuff that you done, and he doing it in front of the people. They ain't in the private thing. He hitting him in front of all his people. These my subjects. He hitting him with the truth. Go ahead.
Then said Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, unto the king, why should this dead dog curse my master the king?
What?
This dead dog curse my master the king.
Why should this dead dog curse the king? That's how you know it was a heated situation.
Yeah.
Read.
Man, let me go over there. I pray you, please, and take his head off.
I want to go and cut this head off for talking to you like this. But at this time, this is before David lost his meekness and his humbleness. Read on. Let's see what David say.
And the king said, what have I to do with you, you son of Zeruiah? Let him curse.
Man, you be tripping. You want to kill everybody. No. Always got that one. I can't tell them to step on my shoe. Right? Always that one. That's him. Read that verse again.
And the king said, what have I to do with you, you sons of Zeruiah? Let him curse, because Yahuwah have said unto him, curse David. Who shall then say, wherefore have you done so?
Calmly. Calm down, bro. Let him curse, man. I know what I did. It's bound to happen to me. I know what I did. He don't get in his feelings and retaliate and go and kill this man. But most of us would feel justified in doing it.
Yeah, man, go work that shit, man.
1 Samuel 24, verse 1.
1 Samuel chapter 24 at verse 1. And when Saul was returned from following the Philistines, then it was told him, saying, behold, David is in the wilderness of En-Gedi. Then Saul took 3,000 chosen men out of all Israel.
How many?
3,000 chosen men.
They squatted up. Go ahead.
Of all Israel, and went to seek David.
To do what?
Went to seek David.
What is he looking for David for? Trying to kill David, right? Read.
And his men upon the rocks of the wild goats. And he came to the sheepcotes by the way, where was a cave, and Saul went in to cover his feet. And David and his men remained in the sides of the cave. And the men of David said unto him, Behold, the day of which Yahuwah said unto you, Behold, I will deliver your enemy into your hand, that you may do to him as it shall seem good to you. Then David arose and cut off the skirt of Saul's robe privately.
He did what?
He cut off the skirt of Saul's robe privately.
What was David showing them? You got 3,000 men, bro, trying to kill me. Look at it. Could have got you, bro. I don't want to fight with you, man. Again, David got the power to kill him. Huh?
If he justified his own eyes.
Exactly. He got the power to kill him. He don't let his pride do it in this instance. But he wasn't strong enough to overcome that woman, though. That's when the pride made him go on his own and do what he wanted to do. So remember, tell you to remove all the I's, the my's, and the me's. Only way you use them is when they're small, right? Let's see an instance. 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 3. Right, I'm going to read it from a different version so we can take the thus and the thou and all this stuff out. You got the ISV?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
1 Kings chapter 3 and verse 3.
So if you're going to pray to the Most High, try to remove the I's, the my's, and the me's out of it, unless you're making it little. Read.
Solomon loved Yahuwah.
He did what?
Loved Yahuwah.
Go ahead.
And lived according to the statutes that his father David obeyed, except that he sacrificed and burned offerings at the high places. The king used to go to Gibeon to sacrifice, since there was a famous high place there, where Solomon once offered 1,000 burnt offerings on that altar. Yahuwah appeared to Solomon one night in a dream and told him, Ask me for whatever you want.
Do what?
Ask me for whatever you want.
Y'all come to us and ask you whatever you want. What do you pray for?
What you say?
I want
to be rich.
Save me a place to sleep.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Before this understanding, what would you have prayed for?
Money. Women. Money and the women.
Or this
Exactly.
Or the money. True. They say you want the money. Money in the car.
Truth be told, if it happened now, some will still do it. Still do it.
Not in this way.
I can scoot around that and do this.
You know
It won't get me.
how many people I can help with all this money?
Right.
Exactly. I can help so many people. If I get this money, woo. Yeah, I'm gonna have a Bentley too, but you know, yeah, I'm gonna have that in a mansion with a basketball court in it. I mean, ooh, that don't mean nothing to me. Right? Read on.
Ask me whatever you want, and I'll give it to you. So Solomon said, You have demonstrated
You, go ahead, have demonstrated. Go ahead.
have demonstrated abundant, gracious love to your servant David.
To what?
To your servant David.
To your servant. He identifies himself as what? A servant. Like, you know what I'm saying? Exactly.
First.
Put it down. It's not exalting itself in no way, shape, or form. Your servant. You did this. Your servant. Read.
My father, as he lived in your presence.
In what?
In your presence.
In your presence. Go ahead.
Truthfully, righteously, and uprightly in his heart.
What?
In his heart.
Uprightly in his heart. Meaning ain't no pride in there. Notice, he ain't putting himself in there, trying to sneak himself in there, even though y'all just asked him, ask me whatever it is that you want, and I will give it to you. Read.
In addition, you have kept on showing this abundant, gracious love by giving him a son.
Giving what?
By giving him a son to sit on his throne.
To who throne?
To sit on his throne.
Go ahead.
Today. Now, Yahuwah, my Elohim, you have set me as king to replace my father David. But I'm still young. I don't have any leadership skills.
I don't know nothing. Real humble. He's saying, I don't know nothing. I don't know how to rule this. Go ahead.
Your servant lives in the midst of your people.
Who people?
In the midst of your people.
That's why I don't say Shabbat Shalom, my people anymore. I say Shabbat Shalom, Yah's people. It's not mine. You don't belong to me. You belong to him. I learned that from this. That's why if you notice, I don't say my people no more. Read.
Your servant lives in the midst of your people that you have chosen.
That you have chosen. Your people. Solomon ain't making this about him. Read.
A great people that is too numerous to be counted. So give your servant an understanding mind.
Give your servant, again, give your slave an understanding mind. Read.
To govern your people, so I can discern between good and evil. Otherwise, how will I be able to govern this great people of yours?
Of whose?
Of yours.
Of mine.
Of yours.
Of yours. He not doing no eyes and no my's and no me's. You see that? No eyes, no my's, no me's. It's everything about you. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 6.
Proverbs chapter 3
At verse 6.
But go back to the other version.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted that because it ain't got the thou and all of that stuff. I wanted to be plain.
Okay. Start at verse 6 and then 5.
Start at verse 6. Well, you start at 5.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in Yahuwah with all your heart.
Do what?
Trust in Yahuwah with all your heart.
Trust in Yahuwah with all your heart. So if you trust in Yahuwah with all your heart, that thing won't be there, which is called pride. Read.
And lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways.
Some of your ways.
In all your ways.
Most of your ways.
In all your ways.
Do what?
Acknowledge him.
So in everything you do, acknowledge him. You go outside and find a bag of chips. Thank you, y'all. I don't need them, but I can give them to somebody else. Read that one more time.
In all your ways, acknowledge him.
And all of them acknowledge him. As what we just was reading, what Solomon was doing, right? It's all about him. It wasn't about Solomon. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 4. We come into the physical world. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 4.
Exodus chapter 20 at verse 4. You shall not make unto you any graven image.
For what?
Any graven image.
You shall not make unto you any graven images. This is about idols. Right? This is about idols. Something in the physical world, but you know we can do it in the heart as well. Read.
Or any likeness. Or any likeness of anything that is in Shamayim above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. You shall not bow down to you shall not bow down yourself to them.
So right here, this is talking about making something physical. So one thing that you're going to notice with pride, it needs something to go with it, to fuel it, to keep it going. This is what you're going to find out with it. It's not good enough to just have it. It's got to keep being fed. It's like they say with the crackhead or something, right? After he smoked the first time, he constantly chasing to get back that same feeling. You can't ever get the feeling back. So you keep going and you keep going. This is pride. It's forever hungry. It don't stop. It don't stop. 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. So remember, it's not good enough to just be rich. I gotta be richer than you. It's not good enough to be great. I gotta be greater than you. I gotta beat you. It's always a competition. It's always a comparison to the next man. 1 John 2:15.
1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world.
Do what?
Love not the world.
Love not the world. What does that mean? Love not the world. He say, love not the world. What up? Participation in the world. I like that. He say, love not the world. Read.
Neither the things that are in the world.
So it's the world and the stuff that's in the world that I don't want you to love. I don't want you to love these things. I don't want you to love the world or the things that's in the world. Read.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
So he say, if any man love the world, then the love of the Father is not in you. So if you love these things, then the love of Yah is not in you. Read on.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh.
The what?
The lust of the flesh.
He say the lust of the flesh. Hold what you got. Get me Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 7. Say the love of the flesh. The lust of the flesh.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 7. All the labor of man is for his mouth.
All of what?
All the labor of man.
All the labor of man is for what?
It's for his mouth.
Go ahead.
And yet the appetite is not filled.
You say all the labor of man is for his mouth, but yet what?
The appetite is not filled.
It is not filled. So no matter how much you eat, you still can't get enough. It's like no matter how many shoes you get, guess what? They gonna make some more. I gotta get that one. They got the Jordan 45s. Oh, they brought the retros back.
Yeah.
Again. I gotta have them again. So no matter how much you eat, the appetite is never satisfied. That's the lust of the flesh. No matter how much you get, it's always going to be something new that I got to get. Lust of the flesh. It feels good, so I got to do it. Is that the end of that?
In the verse 7, it said, for verse 8 says, for what's like the wise more than the food. No.
All right, go back to the 1 John 2, verse 16.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye,
And the what?
the lust of the eye,
The lust of the eyes. Hold that. Proverbs 27 and 20. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 20. Lust of the eyes.
Proverbs chapter 27 at verse 20. Hell and destruction are never full.
And what?
Hell and destruction are never full.
He said it ain't never full. It's always room for more. So no matter how many you think, no, y'all wouldn't kill that many people. Read that again.
Hell and destruction are never full.
He say it ain't never full. Why?
So the eyes of a man are never satisfied.
The eyes of a man is never satisfied. I don't care how pretty this one is. It's gonna be another one prettier. I don't care how pretty this car is. It's gonna be another one prettier.
This one got the peanut butter inside, man.
Read that verse again.
Proverbs 27:20. Hell and destruction are never full.
It ain't never full. Read.
So the eyes of man are never satisfied.
The eyes of man is never satisfied. The flesh never satisfied. The eyes never satisfied with looking. The only way you overcome this is if you are content with what you have. The only way to overcome this, you have to be content with what you have, with what you've been blessed with. I'm straight, bro. Oh, that's good for him. He got a man time. I'm straight. It's the only way. You must be content in your own life, in your own doings of what Yah has given you. Because when you're looking over at somebody else's, that thing gonna puff up. Dang, you get more shine than me. Thank you. Why you get more votes than me? I'm sweeter than him. All of this stuff of the eyes or the flesh is never satisfied. Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 8. Go to the law. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 12. Y'all knew something was happening. Y'all knew something was happening. And he warned us. Deuteronomy chapter 8, pick it up at verse 12.
Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 12. Lest when you have eaten and are full.
That's what?
You have eaten and are full.
Lest when you have eaten and are full. Go ahead.
And have built goodly houses and dwelt therein. And when your herds and your flocks multiply, and your silver and your gold is multiplied, and all that you have is multiplied, then your...
Hold on. At least when you get these things, when you eat to the full and you sitting back with your Rick Ross on. Right? You sitting in your opulent crib, and everything is lovely. You got the lions over there playing in the cave. Look at my lions over there. And then lay back. And you filling up. This is what he warning you against. Read that last verse again.
And when your herds and your flocks multiply, and your silver and your gold is multiplied, and your cars and your mansions.
Remember, it is never enough. No matter how much silver and gold you get, you're going to want more. How much money do Bill Gates and them need? They got $60 billion. How much more do you need? He could take the $1 billion and feed a state. He can't do it because he's racing with Warren Buffett. I got to stay ahead of him. I got to stay ahead of the Rothschilds. That's y'all. Right? I got to stay in front. Can't let them catch me. We're going to get into sooner or later. Every commandment has an opposite side to it. Right? Stay tuned for that. Read on.
And when your herds and your flocks multiply, and your silver and your gold is multiplied, and all that you have is multiplied, then your heart be lifted up.
Then what?
Your heart be lifted up.
Then your heart be proudful. Read.
And you forget Yahuwah, your Elohim.
Because when we doing good, prayers don't come too often, right? As soon as something go wrong, you hit them knees. Woo, I need you, Father. So he say, when all these things increase, why rich people don't pray that much?
They got it already.
I got it already.
They don't need it.
I don't need them. I got this. I'm a self-made millionaire.
That's pop.
Hey. Don't let y'all pride get it. Don't let the pride get me. I'll just keep it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh.
Shoot that. Don't let your pride get you. Let him shoot.
Read on.
Then your heart be lifted up, and you forget Yahuwah, your Elohim.
That's exactly what happened. Soon as you feel that you on your path and you doing good, you forget him. You forget him. He warning you about this all the way in the law to not let this happen to you. But we're going to see it happen over and over and over again. Read on.
Which brought you forth out of the land of Mitzrayim, from the house of bondage. Who led you through that great and terrible wilderness, wherein were fiery serpents and scorpions and drought, where there was no water? Who brought you forth water out of the rock of flint? Who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers knew not, that he might humble you, and that he might prove you to do you good at your latter end? And you say in your heart.
And you say where?
And you say in your heart.
You say in your heart. And go again. It's either Yah in there or it's pride in there. They don't share the space. Either one is in there or the other one. You cannot serve Yah and Mammon. Either one of them is in there. Read.
You say in your heart, my power.
Who?
My power.
There go to mine. My power. What?
In the might of my hand.
In the what?
In the might of my hand.
There it go right there. The my and the mine. Go ahead.
Have gotten me this wealth.
Have gotten me this wealth. Complete opposite of what Solomon was doing, right? Complete opposite. What verse you at?
This is I just finished on 17.
Verse 18.
But you shall remember Yahuwah your Elohim, But it is he that gives you power to get the wealth.
I gave you the power to get the money that you got. And you don't supposed to get it and hoard it. It's my money. It's my gold. It's my silver. I want you to feed the people with it. Not hoard it up for yourself and act like you better than everybody. Which is what rich people do. This is why he say it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. We don't get into this deeper on another lesson. All right, let's get on Matthew chapter 6, verse 19.
Matthew, Yahoo, chapter 6 at verse 19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon the earth.
He said, what?
Lay not up for yourselves treasure upon earth.
He said, don't lay up treasures for yourself on earth. Don't do that. It's a reason he's saying this specifically. We're going to see in a minute. Read.
Where moth and rust do corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal.
So don't lay it up on earth. The big game is 290 million. And everybody line up to play it. I'm going to do right with the money if he let me get it, though.
I'm buying the chosen seat of building. I'm all the homeless people in Detroit. And when I get my mansion, I'm gonna have, you know what I'm saying, people be able to stay at my house.
Yep. I'm gonna supply all the food. I'm gonna make sure everybody know I did it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure you know that I did this. This is from me.
Oh, Lord. And I'm gonna call it the Travis Foundation. Oh,
Exactly. Because you want this. Brother, you doing the work. Beautiful work, brother. Verse 20.
But lay up for yourselves treasures in Shamaim.
Lay them where?
In Shamaim.
Lay up for yourselves treasures in Shamaim. Go ahead.
Where neither moth nor rust do corrupt, where thieves do not break through nor steal.
Go ahead.
For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
Oh, so your heart is with your stuff, with the stuff that you accumulated, because the stuff make you feel bigger than what you are, because people can see it. So when I ride up in my new whip with the big rims on it and the sounds bumping, and I see y'all 2 blocks away, and I turn the song on, and I know by the time I get to y'all, it's gonna be on that part.
Why is everybody laughing? Everybody laughing because we all did it. We all can relate. We all did it. Except this buddy. I did it yesterday.
Oh, I'm gonna be so sweet when I get there. What's going on, fellas? Yeah, it's funny because we all know we did it. Because I want you to think I'm sweet.
Right. I'm gonna turn down the radio when I get to you. What'd you say, Al? What's up, bro?
Read that last verse again, huh?
For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Man, Mashiach knew what he was doing. So remember, he says, lay not up for yourselves treasures on earth. Keep that in mind. 2 Kings chapter 20, verse 1. 2 Kings chapter 20 and verse 1.
2 Kings chapter 20 and verse 1. In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death.
So this is the story of King Hezekiah. Saying these days Hezekiah was sick to death. Read.
And the prophet Isaiah, the son of Amos, came to him and said unto him, Thus saith Yahuwah, set your house in order.
Do what?
Set your house in order.
Get your house in order. Which we all need to do. Get your house in order. Read.
For you shall die and not live. Then he turned his face to the wall and prayed unto Yahuwah, saying, I beg you, Yahuwah.
I do what?
I beg you, Yahuwah.
I beg you, Father. Read.
Remember now how I have walked before you in truth and with a perfect heart.
Now notice he's saying the I. Remember how I, right?
Perfect heart.
Perfect heart. He talking. Notice, I want y'all to see the difference in the prayer. Completely opposite of Solomon. He got the I in there and the mind and stuff, right? Read on.
And have done that which is good in your sight. And Hezekiah wept sore. And it came to pass before Isaiah was gone out into the middle court, that the word of Yahuwah came to him, saying, Turn again. Tell Hezekiah, the captain of my people, Thus saith Yahuwah, Elohim of David, your father.
So y'all claim the people, the captain of my people. I can't say mine no more. Read.
I've heard your prayer. I've seen your tears. Behold, I will heal you. On the third day, you shall go up unto the house of Yahuwah.
Oh, yeah.
And I will add unto your days 15 years. And I will deliver you and the city out of the hand of the king of Assyria. And I will defend this city for my own sake.
For whose sake?
For my own sake.
For your sake, Hezekiah.
For my own sake.
For my own sake.
And for my servant David's sake.
Because you're going to have to take that lawnmower somewhere else. Go ahead.
And Isaiah said, Take a lump of figs. And they took and laid it on the boil, and he recovered. And Hezekiah said unto Isaiah, What shall be the sign of Yahuwah? That Yahuwah will heal me, and that I shall go up into the house of Yahuwah the third day. And Isaiah said, This sign shall you have of Yahuwah, that Yahuwah will do the thing that he has spoken. Shall the shadow go forward 10 degrees or go back 10 degrees?
So he needed a sign to know that Yah is working with him, that he's going to save him. Read.
And Isaiah the prophet cried unto Yahuwah, and he besought the shadow. He brought the shadow 10 degrees backward, by which it had gone in the dial of Ahaz.
So he brought the shadow back 10 degrees for Hezekiah, right? To show him that I'm working with you. Read.
At that time, Baladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent letters and a present unto Hezekiah, for he had heard that Hezekiah had been sick.
So the king of Babylon knew that Hezekiah was sick, sent letters to him. Read.
And Hezekiah listened unto them and showed them all the house.
All what?
All the house.
No, read it for what it says. Go back.
And
All his.
And Hezekiah hearkened unto him and showed them all the house of his precious things, the silver and the gold.
The what?
The silver and the gold.
Sold him all his precious things, the silver and the gold. Remember, he says, lay not treasures on earth, right? Read.
And the spices and the precious ointment and all the house of his armor.
And all of what?
The house of his armor.
His armor, read.
And all that was found in his treasures.
In his treasures, read.
There was nothing in his house.
In his house.
Nor in all his dominion.
Nothing with Yah in this, right? All his. Read.
That Hezekiah showed them not.
That he did what?
That he showed them not.
So he showed them all of his precious things, all of his silver, all of his gold, the spices, the ointments, everything. He showed it to them. Read.
Then Isaiah the prophet unto King Hezekiah. Then came Isaiah the prophet unto King Hezekiah and said unto him, what said these men? From where they came, they unto you? And Hezekiah said, they are come from a far country.
From where?
From a far country.
From America.
From a far country.
Go ahead.
Even from Babylon.
Even from Babylon. Read.
And he said, what they done seen in your house?
What did you show them? What did you show them? Read.
And Hezekiah answered, everything that's in my house, they seen.
Everything that's in my house, I show them. So they said, what is our body to y'all? A temple, right? What's in your house? What's in your house? Ask yourself that. What's in your house? That's what he asking them. It's deeper than just asking them what's in the house. What's in there? Is it Yah? Or is it the pride of this stuff? That's what's in his house, both literally and figurative. Read.
There is nothing among my treasures.
There you go. Read.
That I have not shown them. And Isaiah said unto Hezekiah, hear the word of Yahuwah. Behold, the days come that all that is in your house and that which your fathers have laid up in store unto this day shall be carried into Babylon. Nothing shall be left, saith Yahuwah.
Lay not up for yourselves treasures on earth, but lay it up in heaven, that neither thieves nor moths break in and take it. This is what he just done. This is why Mashiach telling us not to do this, because this is what's going to happen. If you go bragging on cribs, see, look at my Ferraris and my Benzes and all this stuff. Somebody gonna try to take it from you. This is why he's telling you not to do it. Now, if he had a gloried in Yah, they would have wanted his God. But since you gloried in your stuff, I want your stuff. I want to take your stuff from you. All he had to do was glory in Yah, and it would have been reversed. Got the big head. So he probably thinking, man, the Most High stopped the sun for me. Boy, I'm cold with it. He stopped the sun for me. He ain't do that. Well, he did something similar for Joshua, but I'm still special. I'm still that dude. Hold that. Get Jeremiah. Chapter 9, verse 23.
Jeremiah chapter 9 at verse 23. Thus saith Yahuwah, let not the wise man esteem in his wisdom.
Let not the wise man esteem in his wisdom or glory in his wisdom. Read.
Neither let the mighty man esteem in his might.
So Samson, don't glory in your might. Samson, Solomon, don't glory in your wisdom. Read on.
Let not the rich man esteem in his riches.
Let not the rich man esteem in his riches. But do what?
But let him that esteem in this.
Let him do what?
Let him that esteem in this.
Let him esteem in this. That he what?
That he understand and know me.
That what?
That he understand and know me.
That he understand and know me. He said, in all your ways, acknowledge him. Hezekiah is not acknowledging him at all in this. even though I just added 15 years to your life, I stopped the sun and let the dial go on your behalf, and you don't tell them nothing about me. You talking about your stuff over me.
I asked him about his sickness. That's what the letter was for.
Exactly. But he don't mention nothing of y'all saving me, adding 15 years to my life, doing none of this great miracle in the heavens. You don't say nothing about none of this. You glorying in your stuff because that's what was in you, in your house. Pride was in your house that made you puffed up and was worried about that stuff. Exodus 20 one more time. Verse 4.
Exodus chapter 20 at verse 4. You shall not make unto you any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in Shamayim above or that is in the earth beneath.
So he's talking about these physical things again. Because anything can be your God if you worship it and give it power. Even your selfie. Right? Daniel chapter 3. Pick it up at verse 1.
Daniel chapter 3 at verse 1. Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold.
He did what?
Made an image of gold.
So Nebi made an image of gold. He actually trying to stop the prophecy from happening, which his dream was that it was a statue that had the head of gold, the chest of silver, the stomach of brass. So he's trying to stop this prophecy from happening. So he make a whole image of gold. That's another lesson. Read on.
He made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon.
This is directly against the commandment. You shall not make any graven image. Directly he breaking this. Read.
Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers.
He got all the important people. All the people that would be up in society. The people that Mashiach wouldn't hang around. Because he hung around sinners and publicans, trying to bring them in. All of the people that he wouldn't hang around right here. Read.
And the rulers of all the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Then the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up, and they stood before the image of that Nebuchadnezzar had set up.
So he set this image up, directly breaking the commandment. Yah is the one that actually set Nebuchadnezzar up in the first place. So he know what he doing. Get me Daniel chapter 4, verse 29. Nebi then got lifted up. Daniel chapter 4, verse 29.
Daniel chapter 4, verse 29. At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon.
Remember, take the eyes, the minds, and the me out. Read.
The king spake and said, is not this great Babylon that I have built?
That who built?
That I have built?
I have built. Read.
For the house of the kingdom by the might of my power.
The who power?
By my power.
My power. Read.
And for the honor of my majesty.
A what?
My majesty.
And the honor of my majesty. Right? See the difference? You got the eyes, the minds, and the me in this. It's dominating everything he's saying. Hold that, we coming back. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahuwah Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, have Elohim said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim hath said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said unto the woman, you shall not surely die. For Elohim do know that in the day that you eat thereof, your eyes shall be opened.
The lust of the eyes. Go ahead.
And you shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
He just stroked her pride. Now she feel entitled. You're right. I should be just as good as him. I can be just like him. He stroked her pride. Romans 1 and 21.
Romans chapter 1 at verse 21. Because that when they knew Elohim, they esteemed him not as Elohim.
They did what?
They esteemed him not as Elohim.
Go ahead.
Neither were thankful, but became vain.
Came what?
Vain in their imaginations. And their foolish heart was darkened.
It was what?
Darkened.
Foolish heart was darkened. Read.
Professing themselves to be wise.
She wanted to be wise because she said, if I eat from this, it'll make me wise. Read that again.
Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
You was in paradise. You had it made. It couldn't get no better for you at that moment. You wanted to be wise and you became a fool. Now you got to work by the sweat of your brow. I'm going to have to show you what you really are. Read on.
And change the esteem of the uncorruptible Elohim into an image made like to corruptible man.
Read.
Into birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Wherefore Elohim also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own heart.
The what?
The lust of their own heart.
Through the lust of their own hearts. What verse you in?
This is verse 24.
Go ahead.
To dishonor their own bodies between themselves. Who changed the truth of Elohim into a lie?
He did what?
Who changed the truth of Elohim into a lie?
Who changed the truth of Yah into a lie? Read.
And worship and serve the creature more than the creator.
Serve self. 1 John 2:15 again.
1 John chapter 2 verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life.
What of life?
The pride of life.
The pride of life. What is that? The pride of life. Feels good, looks good, I obtain it. I'm satisfied. I got these possessions, these things of the world. This is the pride of life. These are the things that I'm proud of, my possessions, because you can see them. They physical things, which he told you don't make and worship them. This is the pride of life. Let's get Ezekiel 28. Pick it up at verse 13. Ezekiel 28, verse 13.
Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 13. You have been and eaten the garden of Elohim. Every precious stone was your cover. The sardius, topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of your tabrets and of your pipes was prepared in you in the day that you was created. You are the anointed cherub that cover.
You are what?
You are the anointed cherub that cover.
You was anointed. You have a great position. But remember, being rich is not good enough. Being great is not good enough. I got to be richer than you. I got to be greater than you. I got to be faster than you. I got to be stronger than you. Read.
You are the anointed cherub that cover, and I have set you so. You was upon the Kodesh mountain of Elohim. You walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. You was perfect in your ways from the day that you was created.
He was perfect. Perfect. Great position. Great position, right? Read on.
Till iniquity was found in you.
Till what was found in him?
Till iniquity was found in you.
Till iniquity was found in him. Read.
By the multitude of your merchandise.
Of what?
The multitude of your merchandise.
Remember, no matter how much you get, you'll never be satisfied. By the multitude of the merchandise, read.
They have filled the midst of you with violence. You have sinned. Therefore, I will cast you as profane out of the mountain of Elohim.
I will do what?
I will cast you as profane out of the mountain of Elohim.
I'm going to kick you out. Because you tried to go up. I'm going to cast you out. Read.
I will destroy you, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire.
Let's see why. What happened to him? Go ahead.
Your heart was lifted up.
Oh, there it goes. The heart was lifted up. What brought all of this on? The pride. Read.
Because of your beauty, you have corrupted your wisdom by reason of your brightness. I'll cast you to the ground.
I'm going to do what?
I'll cast you to the ground.
What did he do with Satan in Genesis?
Put him on his belly.
I'm going to make you the lowest of the low because you tried to make yourself something that you're not. Because you tried to be great, greater than what you are, and I already made you great. Right here is crystal clear that he great. Said you was perfect in beauty, covered with the stones. You was anointed cherub that covered. You got one of the highest positions in the kingdom, but it wasn't good enough for you. Wasn't good enough for you. Read verse 17 again.
Your heart was lifted up because of your beauty. You have corrupted your wisdom by reason of your brightness. I will cast you to the ground. I will lay you before the kings, that they may behold you.
That they may look at you. 1 Timothy 6, verse 7. This is the physical world, the stuff that everybody can see. He was a spiritual being going crazy over physical things. It's something deeper behind that.
1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 7. But we brought nothing into this world.
You what?
We brought nothing into this world.
I was born with a silver spoon in a bench.
We brought nothing into this world.
He said you didn't bring nothing into this world. But your pride make you think you're entitled to things. Read that again.
We brought nothing into this world.
You didn't bring nothing into the world. Read.
And it is certain we can carry nothing out.
So you can go and say, I want y'all to bury me in a Mercedes-Benz coffin. And I want you to put all my jewelry in there with me. It's just, you put it in there, As soon as the family leave, the morgue people gonna come right back and get it all out.
Party.
And you still dead. And you don't know about it.
You mean they don't wake up and have it driving the car?
No. No. You can't take it with you. Now they having more crazy funerals. I saw the one dude sitting up in the chair, in the king chair, dead. Do he know this? You told him to do that? And they did it. Man. Complete folly. He's so proud. He proud that he dead and proud.
Is there pride after death?
Exactly. Change Aretha Franklin clothes 3 times. She dead. She don't know this.
That was like 3 different days, right?
No, bro. It's the same funeral she had on 7 Mile. They changed. I thought it was 5 times.
No, I thought that was different days.
Still.
I thought it was the same day.
Still is idolatry. Everybody that was down there was in idolatry. Pick that up where you left off at.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 7. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out.
Go ahead.
And having food and raiment.
Having what?
And having food and raiment.
Having food and raiment should be what?
Let us be therewith content.
Should be what?
Content.
That's the only way you don't covet is if you are content. I'm happy with what I got. Because when you're looking over your shoulder and always worrying about what somebody else got, it's going to bring that pride and that coveting spirit going to get on you. And you're going to end up doing something that you're going to regret. Exactly. No matter what, somebody always going to have more. Somebody going to look better. All right? Always. Read on.
But they that will be rich fall into temptation and the snare and into many foolish and hurtful lusts.
What verse you at?
It's verse 9.
Go ahead.
Foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men.
Which do what?
Which drown men in destruction and perdition.
What happened to the people in the beginning? Something happened where a lot of water was coming from up and down, from everywhere, and it did what to the people?
Destroyed.
Drowned them. Because they was full of pride before the flood. What was the sin of Sodom?
Pride.
Pride, right? It's behind everything. Read that verse 10.
For the love of money.
For the what?
For the love of money.
For the love of money. Get the ISV version. Break it down better.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. For the love of money is a root.
Is a root. For the love of money is a root. Go ahead.
Of all kind of evil.
Of all kinds of evil. So money in itself is not evil. It's what you will do to get it. Right? That's what's evil. It's what you are willing to do to get it. People was killing people for it. Women will sell their bodies for it. Sell their children for it. Prostitute their daughters for it. All immoral things to get this. But money in itself is not evil. Read that one more time, Mike.
For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil.
It's a root of all kinds of evil. So when you need money to fuel your pride, because with money created so I can buy these things because y'all can see that I got them. Now you will be jealous of me because I got more of this stuff than you, and then you will start to say, get props. I want to do that. So you lay your treasures up on the earth, and men gonna break through and steal them from you. That's why rich people can't get no rest, because they always worry that the next man is about to beat him out. So you either worship spirit or dirt. Say it one more time. You either worship spirit or dirt. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7.
Genesis chapter 2 at verse 7. So Yahuwah Elohim formed man from the dust of the ground.
Formed it from what?
From the dust of the ground.
So what is man really?
Dirt.
One more time, all right?
So Elohim formed man from the dust of the ground.
Formed man from the dust of the ground. Finish that out.
Breathed life into his lungs. And the man became a living being. Same verse. I read again. And Yahuwah Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
So what?
The breath of life.
The breath of life. Finish it.
And man became a living soul.
And man became a living soul. Genesis chapter 3, verse 17. Since y'all thought y'all was going to be more than what you are, because you said, I'm going to be a God. I'm going to be like him. But you trying to cheat your way to get it, I'm going to show you what you really are. He put everybody that tried to go up, he brought them down, right? Read.
Genesis 3 and 17. And unto Adam he said, because you have listened to the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it, cursed is the ground for your sake. For your sake in sorrow shall you eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles shall it bring to you, and you shall eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of your face shall you eat bread, till you return to the ground.
So you will go do what?
Till you return to the ground.
That's all you are. I got to break you down and show you what you really are. You're dirt. Read.
For out of it you was taken, for dust you are, and dust shall you return.
Since you thought you was so big and bold to try to come up and be what I am before it's time, I'm going to show you what you are. You're dirt. Silver and gold come from where? Oil come from where? The dirt. Everything that you try to worship is dirt. I'm going to send you back to it because you thought you was something more than what you are. What was you saying?
Yeah, like you brought out that one time how Adam didn't see his own creation. So he didn't even know, for all intents and purposes, that this is what he was until he just told him. You ain't nothing but dirt. Boy.
He just wakes up. Wow. What am I? I'm here. What is this? What are these words that I'm saying?
You full understanding.
Exactly.
What are these words that I'm saying? What these are words?
Genesis 3:17 to like 19.
19 was the dust of man.
Yeah, read that one more time.
In the sweat of your face shall you eat bread till you return unto the ground. For out of it you was taken. For dust you are, and unto dust
Shall you return?
Well, he had to bring them down to the ground and show you what you really are. Remember, Nebuchadnezzar got all puffed up, right? Let's go back. Daniel chapter 4, verse 27. You must give Yah the esteem. You must take the I, the me, and the my out of it. Acknowledge him in what?
All your ways.
All your ways. Daniel chapter 4, verse 27.
Daniel 4 and 27. Wherefore, O king, let my counsel be acceptable unto you, and break off your sins by righteousness.
He's giving them a warning. Stop your sins by what?
Righteousness.
Go ahead.
And your iniquities by showing mercy to the poor, if it may be a lengthening of your tranquility.
Go ahead.
All this came upon the king Nebuchadnezzar at the end of 12 months.
So at the end of 12 months, so now he's been going for 12 months and he's been all right. He got the pride out of him. He started doing right. But 12 months done passed and he done forgot. Read.
At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon. King spake and said, is not this great Babylon?
Is this what?
Is this not great Babylon?
Go ahead.
That I have built?
That I have built?
For the house of the kingdom by the might of my power, for the honor of my majesty.
My honor, my majesty. Go ahead.
While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from Shamaim, saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to you it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from you.
I'm going to take this kingdom from you. I gave you a warning that I was going to do it, and you still puffed yourself up. Read.
And they shall drive you from men. Your dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field.
At this time, Nebuchadnezzar is the undisputed greatest man alive. Going to be brought down to rubble. Read.
They shall make you to eat grass as oxen.
The king about to eat grass like an ox. Read.
And 7 times shall pass over you until you know that the Most High rule in the kingdom of men.
That who rule?
That the Most High rules in the kingdom of men.
That you know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men. Read.
And give it to whoever he will.
I gave you the kingdom, but you thought you did it. Read.
The same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar. And he was driven from men and did eat grass.
The king, the greatest man in the world, out there eating grass like an ox. Read.
As oxen. And his body was wet with the dew of the Shamaim, till his hair were grown like eagle's feathers.
Meaning his hair is matted like locks. Read.
And his nails like birds' claws. And at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up my eyes unto Shamaim, and my understanding returned unto me.
Oh, 7 years. I put you down to show you that you nothing. Even though you thought you was something, I put you down to show you that you nothing. You were really just dirt. Read.
And I increased the Most High, and I praised and honored him.
Now you get on the right track. Now you gonna give me what I deserve. I gave you this kingdom. You thought you did it. Read.
I praised and honored him that lived forever, whose dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation.
Go ahead.
And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing.
He said what?
And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing.
He said all the people of the earth are reputed as nothing. Dirt. If you keep this in perspective, I am dirt. The puffed upness will not get into you. When you say, I want to take that man's wife, you figure it out and say, wow, I'm finna throw away my salvation for some dirt. I want to rob that man of that Bentley that he got. I'm throwing away my salvation for some dirt. That's what you're doing. Because it all come from the dirt. Because that's all it is. Either worship spirit or dirt. Read on.
And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, and he will do according to his will in the army of Shamaim among the inhabitants of the earth, and none can stay his hand or say unto him, what do you? At the same time, my reason returned unto me, and the esteem of my kingdom, my honor and brightness returned unto me, and my counselors and my lords sought unto me, and I was established in my kingdom, and excellent majesty was added unto me. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the king of Shamaim.
He do what?
Praise and extol and honor the king of Shamaim.
Go ahead.
All whose works are true, and his ways judgment, and those that walk in pride.
Those that walk in what?
In pride, he is able to abase.
So he had to bring him all the way down. The same thing he do with everybody. Let you get up, I put you up there, and then I bring you down. Acts chapter 12, verse 19.
Jordan, turn it down. Oh, that's you? Turn it down, buddy. My bad, Jordan.
Acts chapter 12, verse 19. How long have we been on? Acts chapter 12, verse 19.
Acts chapter 12, verse 19. And when Herod had sought for him.
This is Herod the king, the Edomites. Go ahead.
And found him not, he examined the keepers and commanded that they should be put to death. And he went down from Judea to Caesarea, and there abode. And Herod was highly displeased with them of Tyre and Zidon. But they came with one accord to him, and having made Blastus the king's chamberlain, their friend, desired peace, because their country was nourished by the king's country. And upon a set day,
upon what?
A set day.
Upon a set day, what happened?
Herod, arrayed in royal apparel.
He was in what?
Royal apparel.
He was up there like Ric Flair with the robe, the royal apparel, the feathers around the neck. Read.
Sat upon his throne.
He did what?
Sat upon his throne.
So he's sitting upon his throne. Read.
And made an oration unto them.
So he's making a speech to the people. Read.
And the people gave a shout.
The people said, good.
Gave a shout.
The people shouted what?
Saying, it is the voice of God.
It is the voice of a God. Read.
And not of a man.
So what do you think Herod is feeling right now? Proud. Super proud. Read.
And immediately.
How long?
Immediately.
Immediately what happened?
The Malach of Yahuwah smote him, because he gave not Elohim the esteem.
Honor me in what?
In all your ways.
In all your ways acknowledge me. He let the people call him this, and he didn't stop them. Read that last verse again.
And he gave not Elohim the esteem, and he was eaten of worms and died.
Put you up. Soon as you forget about me and don't give me the honor and esteem and let everybody know that I gave you the money and that I put you in this position, and you start thinking that your own hands did it, that you did it by your works, I got to bring you down. So that's like the second commandment in there. We'll pick it up my next time up. With that, we say shalom. Shalom.
Questions, comments, concerns. You love it. You hate it. What we got going on?
I just wanted to say, you had said sometime in the scripture that, being content is what it is. Babylon, they tell you never to be content. They just put us in that saying. They say never be content with what you got, always want more.
Pursuit of happiness.
Exactly. And the scriptures say something totally different. I forgot to say that.
Exactly. Because you're going to constantly be chasing, like that Proverbs is talking about.
Chasing. Constantly chasing happiness. It's right here. All right.
Exactly. If you content with what you got, you happy. If you always looking over at my thing, they got a new They got a new TV. I see that big box they brought in at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
You ain't gonna never be happy because you're gonna feel that I gotta get it. Now you're gonna go and finance something that costs $200 and you're gonna pay $2,000 for it because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses.
The question was asked: is there a thing called humble pride? To be humble and prideful at the same time?
No, that's called false humility. That is called false humility. You're either humble or you're proud. No in between.
Yeah, I'm still trying to study about that false humility. I still ain't got it. I don't really know what that is.
False. What does it mean to be? What does humility mean?
It means to humble yourself.
Right? So it's false humility. It means you will be acting like you are this. You might say it. I'm a humble guy, man. You know what I'm saying? All these people hate me, man, because I do all this work.
Gotta tell somebody.
Right. That's it.
Not sincerely, like you said, acting.
Exactly. Which is still pride.
You saying it just for somebody else to back it up, or like you say, for people to see it.
You see your chain up.
But usually, if you gotta tell somebody you something, that usually means you ain't it.
Exactly. B. You are the winner of the most humblest man on the face of the earth. What do you do with the necklace, right? You put it on him. Now give it back. Because you're proud of it. See, if you actually win the chain, don't wear it. Because now when you wear it, I'm proud that I won. So I got to take it back from you because you're proud. That's how it works. Just that quick. You went from the humblest to the proudest. Now you're walking around with your chest out because you won the humblest award. Just that quick. It's flip over.
Let me ask a question. Okay, my cousin made me and my mom and my aunt a necklace, and she made it with my aunt's face on the back of it. And I said I wasn't gonna wear it because I feel like it's idol worship. Is that wrong? And then my aunt was gonna hang hers up in the car, and I said,
"Do you worship
it up in the car?" No, I'm not.
I say, "Do you worship it?"
No, I'm not worship, but I'm saying, would I be wrong if I wear it?
I'm asking you. Did you do that? Do it have any power to you? So when you see people with them crosses and stuff, right? That cross got power to them. That's why when they get in trouble, they grab it. Oh, please. You acting like this object got power. It don't. As long as you not giving it some power.
My job, right? Got guys that they go beyond the call of duty. So they go in the house and they just 7 kids. Everybody lives. Right, they're the heroes. So it's kind of like we got some guys on the job who do that every day, and they try to give recognition to them. Certain guys be like, no, I don't want to have no breakfast. I don't want no medal. I just did my job. And they will not allow them to give the medals and put them on the front street, put them on the news. They will not do this. You got guys who won't do it. Then you got the guys who don't do nothing in the firehouse, who barely, clean the firehouse. And they go in there and they might rescue somebody, and they is just waiting to get on the news. They waiting to be recognized so they can wear all their little stuff.
No.
You know what I'm saying? All that stuff is on their chest. Stick their chest out, walking around like I'm the man. You know what I'm saying?
They saved them just because they knew they was about to get the award.
Exactly.
But that's the reality of life that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to share that story. That's a true story about real heroes and the ones who actually did something that's really their job and they want to be recognized.
Exactly. You got your reward though. When you got on the news and done all that, that was your reward right there. Because people know you and they run up on you on the street. Oh, you Fireman John that saved that cat out the tree. That's your reward right there. I hope that suffices you. So you basically got to check yourself with everything that you do and ask yourself, am I doing this now because I want somebody to pat me on the back because I want to be seen, or am I doing this genuinely? You know what I'm saying? This, you got to do it every day. You didn't get the Moses, I'll do it on the next time I get up. You got to check it every single day because it's always lingering there, waiting to come out. Anything else on that chat?
That's good.
We good in here? All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
Pray it up.
All rise.
All right,
Court
back.
of Yahuwah is now
I'm about to
adjourned.
say, okay, Babylon. Great lesson, bro.
All praise to the Most High.
Or should I not say all rise? All stand, please. All stand, please. All get up.
All right.
All self-risers.
Time to pray. Tonight. Down, baby. Time to pray. Father, Yahweh, we come before you, Father. Standing on one accord, Father, with one heart, Father, with one voice, asking, Father, that you would hear our prayers, Father, that you would accept our petition, Father, that you would help us, Father, on a daily basis, Father, to look in the mirror, Father, examine ourselves, Father, walk in meekness and humility, Father. Father, to recognize, Father, the pride in our own selves, Father, to remove it, Father, from our lives, Father, understanding it is on a daily basis, Father, something that we must do daily to check ourselves, Father. And when we step out of line, Father, we pray that conviction would come, Father, that you would allow your Ruach, Father, to convict us, Father, to receive conviction, Father, to receive correction, Father, and humility, Father, to correct our actions, Father, to be quick to apologize, Father, and slow to anger, Father. We pray, Father, that you would just continue to walk with us, Father, lead us and guide us, Father, into all righteousness, Father, as we recognize and follow after you, Father, that we acknowledge you in all our ways, Father, that you would just continue to be a light unto our path, that you will order our steps, Father, according to your Ruach. Father, we pray and ask, Father, that you would just continue to pour out your Ruach into us, Father, so that we can be used as vessels, Father, for your word to flow through, to speak a word of life and power and strength into your people that you have deemed worthy. Father, all these things we pray and we give thanks. So be it.
So be it.
Avinu Shabbat Shemaim.
Avinu Shabbat Shemaim.
Ikadosh.
Ikadosh.
Tenka.
Tenka.
Tabo.
Tabo.
Bakuka.
Malkuka, Yase, Ratsonka, Bares, Kashir, Nasha, Bashamain, Tain Lanu, Hayon, the King, Ikanu, Uzak, Lanu, Asmatenu, Kashir, Sokin, Anaknu, Ashmut, Lanu, Wa'al, Tabinu, Lede, Masa, Ki, Hasalanu, Min, Mara, Ki, Laka, Amamlaka, Wahabi Bora, Tifare, Lome, Ulamin. So be it. Hallelujah.
Hey, be careful.
Look what you're doing, man.
Hey, we were just on vacation. We were down there in Florida.